Hi, it's Tina. I'm not cooking today because I've got a refrigerator full of leftovers, and every once in a while we have to have a leftover night so we can just clean that out. So I've got shepherd's pie for my husband, and I've got some soy curls with teriyaki sauce and rice and veg for my daughter, and I've got some black beans for my son and I, and we're covered for dinner. That doesn't mean I'm not cooking today. Okay, and that doesn't mean I'm not making videos for you all. So today what I'm doing is answering a question. So someone asked about my jars and why I have them sitting in the kitchen and about how I use them to meal prep and keep stuff in my refrigerator. So this is what I do. The reason for this is to succeed on a plant-based lifestyle, you have to have food ready all the time. You have to be able to go in your refrigerator, grab something, and throw it on quick. Let me explain why that is. We have to learn to eat when we're hungry. And so when we first start this, we're like, I'm not hungry, I'm not hungry, I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat because I'm not hungry. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm starving! And you literally can't wait. When I started this, I was probably a month in. I was microwaving my potatoes, which I don't recommend that. I learned such. I got me an Instant Pot, and I always make my potatoes in the Instant Pot. They are moist and tender, and I don't need sauce now that I cook them in the Instant Pot. When I microwaved them, they were dry and crumbly, and I choked them down, literally choked them down, and covered them in every kind of sauce I could think of until I was bored of barbecue and ketchup and honey mustard and all of that. I was just bored with it. And now I cook my food in the Instant Pot, my potatoes, and I either eat them warm with like a gravy, or I let them cool and I eat them room temperature. And that's the way I prefer them, room temperature, because they are sweet and soft and tender, and they're just lovely. Anyway, I digress. I did that. I'm not hungry and I'm not going to eat until I'm hungry. And all of a sudden, I was starving. And I put my potato in the microwave, which takes 4 minutes to cook, and I literally couldn't wait for that 4 minutes. I was starving and I had to eat. And if you've seen my table, my video on my table of keeping food out in the open, that's what I do, and that's why. Because if I can't wait for something to heat up, I want to be able to grab a banana or an apple or an avocado or something that I can just eat with my hands while I'm waiting for just that warm up, warm up the food that's already cooked and in the fridge. And that's why I keep all of this in the fridge. So what I do is I keep my jars, and I've got a collection of these jars, and they're always full of something in the fridge. So if you remember the cheesy spread that I made with beans and sunflower seeds, that's in this jar. My husband's corn butter, which I just made a new batch this morning. And then I've got white beans and black beans. Sometimes I'll have pinto beans as well, sometimes garbanzo beans. I try to have at least 2 kinds of beans in the fridge, because I can pull those out and heat those up quickly and throw them on a tortilla for burritos for the family. I can stick them with some rice. I can throw some veggies in. I can throw them on top of a salad. However I want to eat them, I can do it quickly. And then I've got some refrigerator pickles that I made this summer, and I've got several jars of those in the fridge. Now, if you were watching my video yesterday on the shepherd's pie and making the gravy, I didn't have any broth. Well, Thanksgiving's coming, and I'm going to need some broth. I don't buy broth at the grocery store. I just don't. I won't do it. It's full of sodium, and even if I can find one that's either low sodium or no sodium, which it's very hard to find no sodium at all, it's very expensive. And so I won't buy it. I make it because I have an Instant Pot, and that's one of the reasons why I bought an Instant Pot. So what I do is I keep all of the clippings from all my vegetables, because plant-based diet, lots of veggies. So onions, celery, carrots, green bell pepper, orange bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, red bell pepper, cauliflower, broccoli, you name it. It's all in there. So the tops, any seeds, any ends, that's all in there. So what I do with that is every time I cut a veg, I keep this baggie in the freezer and I just add it and close it back up, stick it back in the freezer until it's full. And so now it's full. Put it in the Instant Pot. We're going to fill it up with water. Now, what does this not have in it? It doesn't have salt in it. So, it's free and there's no salt. And all I have to do is cook it in my Instant Pot, fill up my jars and put them in the fridge, and then I've got broth. And I will use that broth. I'll see, we're all full of water. I'll use that broth to make mashed potatoes, to make gravies, to flavor rice. Even quinoa is good, cooked in broth. Make sure it's set to seal, and I just do manual 20 minutes. 20 minutes will make sure that any vegetable in there is fully cooked and all of the nutrients are down into that water. And that's my tip for today. So this is how I food prep using mason jars in my fridge, and this is how I make my broth. Any questions? Let me know. I'm always here. See you later.